Thank you very much, Anne. Well, thank you very much, Anne and Gordon, for inviting me to this training session. As I said, Gordon asked me to give a short training session on arrays, and what I've decided to do is to summarize a little bit what sort of array systems we have now. So this is really, a lot of it is other people's work I like to highlight. And then at the end I say a little bit about what our philosophy is and what we are going to do. So by way of introduction, just a very general scheme. Why do we want Glycan arrays? You obviously are very aware of the fact that we've got sort of the genome, we've got a lot of sequence information for biosynthetic enzymes that generate the glycome. We've got this wonderful database, the KZ database. The glycoenzymes link the genome and the glycome. So the glycome, as you know, is not directly encoded by the genome. So we do need to understand what these enzymes do. And then ultimately we want to do glycomics. So we want to do glycan analysis. And you've got seen some beautiful talks already earlier on in this session for using mass spectrometry to do glycan analysis. But also we want to understand glycan protein interactions. And the glycan protein interactions, to study those, Glycan arrays have become a really major tool in developing and understanding these glycan protein interactions. And one could say that's glycomics. We want to really understand what glycans do, what are the protein partners they interact with. In our lab, we're actually also very interested in understanding the enzymes, because in principle, once you understand the biosynthesis, you might be able to predict what sort of glycans you have in an organism. So the better we understand these enzymes, the better we are in predicting what the glycome might be. So in my laboratory, also very interested in using arrays for sort of high throughput enzymology to study glycoenzymes and study their specificity. So I'll come to that sort of at the very end of my talk. I should say that I've been very lucky when I was looking through the literature trying to find some nice papers by my colleagues on Glycan technology. I realized actually that last year there was a whole issue in Current Opinions in Chemical Biology, which is this reference here at the bottom, on microarrays, but there were a lot of articles on Glycan arrays. So unashamedly, I've actually taken some of my slides from those articles. So I'll give you a little bit of an overview, but if you want much more detail, there's some very, very nice reviews in that whole issue by, I think, some of the key players really in the Glycan array field. So this comes from Peter Seeberger's review, and it just shows the general principle of Glycan arrays. You've got in glycomics and glycoscience, you've got Glycan arrays and lectin arrays. Rita had already alluded to the lectin arrays. What I'll be talking about is exclusively Glycan arrays. So what we do is we generally immobilize glycans in some sort of array format. So we've got a printed Glycan arrays, and you can see these are all the sort of different